What up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Listen, we're live on the Oasis, and I want to talk about this idea of leadership and what that looks like. So, before we get started, welcome to the channel. If you're new, as we build a platform, we appreciate the support of each and every one of you. So, leadership is something that, to me, I feel like people are always trying to circumvent in one way, shape, or form. And let's just take it to the sports level because that's where a lot of people live. I get it. It's exciting, your favorite team, blah, blah, blah. But there's actually a lot of life lessons involved in sports. And if you really pay attention to what's going on in sports, the lack of leadership rears its ugly head time after time after time. Now, I'm sitting here, and yes, I still read the newspaper. I'm reading the New York Post today. Rest in peace to Raquel Welch, who passed away. But, first of all, how about those Knicks? Jalen Brunson, beast. But, there was an article in here, and they were going over how the new Nets. Now, if you paid attention, the Nets traded their two superstars, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. They fired their Hall of Fame coach, a Hall of Fame player who became their coach, Steve Nash. They traded away James Harden, and they're stuck with the last star of the bunch, Ben Simmons. Now, all these people that I'm talking about are some of the most talented, gifted athletes in the world. And a few of them, two of them in particular, are still great players as far as from a basketball standpoint. James Harden, still can't figure out what the hell's going on with him, but he's good for sure, but not what he was in Houston. However, if you think about the Nets, right? Now think about where they are right now. They have a coach in Jacques Vaughn who should have been their coach earlier. Kind of a non-sexy name, title, but a hell of a coach. He should have been their coach before, but they went in a different direction. He's leading this team, and I'm just going to name a couple of names. Mikal Bridges, who's a great player, very good player, Villanova alum. Spencer Dinwiddie. I've always thought he was completely underrated. Who else? They still have Ben Simmons. There's a couple names that I'm missing. Let me see if there's on here. Bear with me. So they still have Seth. Wait a minute. Seth Curry, great shooter. I'm just naming a couple names to give you an idea. Seth Curry. How about I give you... Oh, this guy that I honestly hadn't heard of until this year. Is it Cam Thomas? Cam Thomas. Bright young player, very talented. The point I'm saying is, if you think about it, right, they had this before. Because if you remember, they had Kenny Atkinson, who was a very, very underrated coach, should have never gotten fired, took that team in the right direction with Carrie Levert, great player. But he had a bunch of pieces on that team that were solid players, and they performed well as a team. But no. They couldn't just let that build. They had to go out and get the sexy names, the Steve Nashes who never coached before. They had to go out and get double trouble, I call them, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I don't know which is... I could do a whole series on them because I don't know who's more... Let me take a sip of this coffee. I don't know who's more annoying, Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant, for different reasons. But for Kevin Durant, it's like, bro, you are literally a top 2 to 3 player in the league. Hall of Famer. Not that Kyrie is not, but you're the alpha dog from a basketball standpoint. Yet you don't do any, you don't dictate anything. You're just like literally a follower. And this is kind of where I'm going with this, is because with all of that talent, James Harden joins the mix. With all of that talent, there wasn't one leader on the floor. Not one. Well, there was, but out of that contingent that I just mentioned, out of that All-Star Hall of Fame contingent, Harden, Kyrie, Kevin Durant, there wasn't one leader. And you had a coach who'd never coached before. So you begin to see where I'm going with this, because you had a leader and a good coach in Kenny Atkinson, and you had several pieces around the team at that point. And now I'm looking at little reports. I love reading the paper, talking about whether or not the Jets should go after Aaron Rodgers. I mean, are you kidding me? You wonder why organizations don't win. I've never owned one, but damn it, the decisions they make are so asinine. Why in the hell would you, as a Jets organization, want Aaron Rodgers? Why would you want him? I'm not talking. We know what he can do on the field. We get it. But he's, with all of that talent, he's still only won one championship. Mainly because he's not a leader. He points the blame on everyone but him. And you see the Jets, who have struggled for decades to put on a consistent winner on the field. Yet and still, they keep making the same exact mistakes over and over and over and over and over. Why would you even consider bringing Aaron Rodgers into your organization? We get the talent. The guy is not a leader. He never has been a leader. You think he's going to start being a leader now? This should be a 2-second conversation. No. As a Knicks fan, I have to point out Jalen Brunson. Now, that's a leader. That's a leader. Is he Magic Johnson? No. Is he... It's a perfect example. Is he Kyrie Irving? No. He's Jalen Brunson, but he has leadership skills and talent, but leadership skills more importantly. Do you hear him talking about documentaries? Do we know what he feels about any... No. He's playing basketball. He's leading his team. He's not creating firestorms for no reason. Right? Leadership. And I don't care if you're in corporate America. I don't care where you're at. Let this be a lesson. You cannot get around leadership. If you don't have it, you're fucked. I'm telling you. Now, as a father, I do believe, whatever. I'm not, you know what? Let me stop. You can't get around leadership in an organization. All you sports organizations who are so brilliant, you need to keep it simple. If you don't have leadership, you're not going to win. Period. Today, next week, next year. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Get leaders in your organization. Corporate America, get leaders in your organization. There's a lot of PhDs and master degrees and all these flashy. They're not leaders. They're followers. If you want to take your company, organization to another level, into the future, to the next frontier, get yourself leaders. Identify who those leaders are and keep them. Till next time, appreciate you joining, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.